They brought me into this world to be a savior, but forgot I'd have a soul of my own. By 16, I'd learned my life was a transaction, not a gift. My name is Ethan Carter, born into a family already buckling under the weight of tragedy. My older siblings, Lily and Max, were twins, both confined to wheelchairs since a car accident stole their mobility at age 10. Their smiles were bright, their spirits unbroken, but their bodies demanded constant care my parents couldn't afford. Bone marrow transplants, experimental treatments, endless hospital bills. By the time I was conceived, Mom and Dad were drowning in debt and desperation. I wasn't planned for love. I was engineered to save them. The truth hit me like a freight train when I was 12, overhearing Mom sobbing to Dad in the kitchen. We needed him to match Tom. That's why he's here. A perfect HLA match for Lily and Max. My blood and marrow were supposed to be their lifeline. I was their walking, breathing cure. But nobody asked if I wanted to be. Needles pierced my skin before I could spell donor. Hospital visits became my childhood, not playgrounds. I didn't mind at first Lily's gentle hand squeezing mine. Max's bad jokes through the pain, they made it feel worth it. They were my heroes even if I was supposed to be theirs. But then I started to dream. School was my escape. A place where I wasn't just the donor kid. I was damn good at math, at writing, at seeing the world in ways my parents never did. By 9th grade, I was acing tests, winning essay contests, dreaming of college, maybe even a life beyond hospital walls. That's when they panicked. Mom and Dad saw my future as a threat. If I left for college, who'd keep giving marrow? Who'd keep Lily and Max alive? It started subtly. Mom would forget to sign my permission slips for advanced classes. Dad would miss parent-teacher conferences, claiming work ran late. Then it got worse. My report card started showing CS and DS, grades I'd never earned. Teachers I trusted began looking at me with pity, not pride. "You're not applying yourself, Ethan," Mrs. Hargrove said, handing me a failed math test I knew I'd aced. I confronted her, but she just sighed. "Your parents asked us to ease up on you. They said you're under too much pressure at home." Pressure? They were sabotaging me. My own parents, the ones who'd kissed my forehead and called me their miracle, were pulling strings to keep me failing, to keep me home, to keep me theirs. I found the emails later, buried in Dad's open laptop. "Please don't push Ethan too hard. He's needed here." They'd convinced the school I was fragile, unmotivated. Anything to stop me from outgrowing my role as their savior son. Rage became my fuel. I'd sneak textbooks under my bed, study by flashlight after they thought I was asleep. I'd memorize formulas while sitting through Lily's dialysis, write essays in my head during Max's physical therapy. I loved them, God, I loved them, but I hated what my life had become. Lily noticed first. She was 17, sharp as a tack despite her frail body. One night, as I adjusted her blanket in the hospital, she grabbed my wrist. "Ethan," she whispered, her eyes wet. "You don't have to stay for us." I froze. "You know." She nodded. "I heard them arguing. They're scared of losing us, but they're losing you." Max, always the louder one, chimed in from his bed. "You're not our spare part, man. You're our brother." His grin was crooked, but his words cut deep. They knew. They'd always known. And they didn't want me chained to them any more than I did. The breaking point came at 16. During a parent-teacher meeting I wasn't supposed to attend. I'd forged Mom's signature to get into an honors program, but the principal called us all in. "Ethan's been cheating," she said, holding up my application. "His grades don't support this." I snapped. "Check my tests. Check my work. They're lying to you." I pointed at Mom and Dad, who sat there pale and silent. "They're making me fail so I'll stay home and keep donating." The room went quiet. Mom's hand shook as she reached for me, but I pulled away. Dad stared at the floor, his jaw tight. The principal looked horrified, like she'd stumbled into a war zone. "Is this true?" she asked. Dad finally spoke, his voice low. "Everything we've done is for Lily and Max. You don't understand, Ethan. You're their only chance." "And what about my chance?" I shouted. "What about my life?" The silence that followed was louder than my words. Mom started crying, but I didn't care. I walked out, my heart pounding, my future a question mark. I was done letting them answer. The next weeks were a blur. Lily and Max backed me up. refusing their treatments until mom and dad promised to stop meddling. It wasn't easy. Guilt hung over us like a storm cloud. But they relented. I got into the honors program, started catching up, started dreaming again. The hospital visits didn't stop, but they felt different now. I was there because I chose to be, not because I was born for it. Lily and Max were my anchors even when they felt like chains. They taught me love isn't about owing someone, it's about choosing them. Every day, even when it hurts. Mom and Dad learned too, slowly, painfully. They started seeing me, not just my blood type. Family therapy helped, though Dad hated every minute. We're still healing, still messy, still us. But I wonder sometimes, where's the line between sacrifice and betrayal? Was it fair for them to create me for a purpose, then try to trap me in it? Was it fair for me to demand my freedom when my siblings' lives hung in the balance? I don't have answers. Maybe you do. Share your thoughts. What's right? What's wrong? What's justice when love gets this complicated?